STEM and HBCU excellence are truly a family tradition in the Brooks household. Tammy and David, our nurses regional director, had their three daughters hold degrees in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, veterinary medicine, and architecture, all from HBCUs. And as impressive as her professional accomplishments are, what I admire most is that Tammy brings that same passion, ethics, dependability, and commitment to every place she serves, at home, at work, in her community, through her church, and in service to Mother Tuskegee. And while she's serious about the work she's called to do, please make no mistake, she enjoys traveling, reading, playing board games with her family, and line dancing. And man, can she go. Which proves that she can manage both major construction project teams and an 8 count. Come on, Papa Grace. Tammy is guided by Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. She also believes that teamwork makes the dream work, because together, everyone achieves more. That message beautifully reflects the legacy of Jim Woodson and the mission of the Tuskegee National Alumni Association. Serving together, building together, and advancing Tuskegee together. It is both honor and joy to introduce my classmate, my friend, my sister, a woman of character, service, excellence, and plenty of personality. We are truly in for a treat, y'all. Miss Tammy Brooks.
You need me to move this? Go give it the hand here. Give it.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Gaynell, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I just have so much love and respect for you, and I am missing your sister. And because I love and respect you so much, I just am thankful for that introduction. I mean, sometimes when you were talking about that bio, I was like, who's that? I guess that's it. All right. Thank you so much. Greetings, fellow alumni, colleagues, and friends. I am so honored and humbled to be before you today. I would like to start off telling you a story, because one of my favorite pastors, he always tells stories, and that keeps me engaged. And I know y'all just ate lunch, so I want to make sure you stay with me. So the first question I have for you is, do you remember your first experience on Tuskegee's campus? Do you remember? Okay. I'm going to talk to you about my first experience on Tuskegee's campus to open up this story. I'm going to take you back 40 years to my freshman year on campus. You see, my decision, surprisingly, to attend Tuskegee was a last-minute one. I was all set to go to Purdue. I had accepted, I had a scholarship, that was the plan. And so I met some people. Hello? Okay, can you hear me? A few months before enrollment started in the fall that prompted me to apply, and I accepted, and I got a presidential scholarship. So I said, this is a sign. This is where I'm supposed to be. So, unlike many prospective students, I never visited the campus before enrollment. Instead, my mother and I packed up the car. I think it was a silver Nissan Sentra, and we drove 14 hours from Cleveland, Ohio to Alabama. I vividly remember looking out the window as the landscape changed. The crowded, urban city environment, the inner city that I lived in, gave way to vast stretches of red clay fields and open countryside, and a few cattle along the way. It was a world away from home for me. Then we arrived. One of the first things I noticed was that complete strangers were talking to me. What is this? I didn't understand. I mean, I grew up in the inner city, and I was clenching first. What is happening? They smiled. They waved. They said good morning. No, they said good morning. Now that I have graduated from PCE, I have come to know and love this experience as Southern hospitality. As the semester unfolded my freshman year, I learned about the fountain. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. I learned about the fountain. Although in fall of '86, there was no water in the fountain, but it was still a fountain. I learned about the valley, and I remember listening to Faye Haygood talk about how it was unpaved. It was unpaved for us then. It was hot, walking through that valley, getting to class at Huntington, but I remember that valley. I remember the avenue, especially on Friday afternoons during all the programs. I remember learning about the ignorant bench. And of course, I remember learning about the famous chicken coop. Do you remember how you ordered your chicken and just before they gave it to you, they sprinkled a little bit more of that seasoning salt mixture on it? Gave you that perfect touch? Of course, I learned where to study, which for me was the engineering building, usually on the 4th floor. I learned where to socialize, which was typically the first floor of Russell Hall, and sometimes the student union, thank you. But can you hear me? Okay. Most important, I learned that on home game Saturdays, you had to get up early. I mean, early before breakfast was served at the caf early. So you could get over to Abbott Field and get a seat under the shed. But not just any seat under the shed, but a seat under the shed next to the band. And that is where I first experienced the magic of the marching Crimson Pipers. Now, I am not a piper myself, but you can tell I'm a fan. Can you hear me now? Okay. When the Pipers marched on the field, the crowd erupted. They shouted, "Jim Pipers, Jim! Jim Pipers, Jim!" Wait, I want you to feel it. Jim Pipers, Jim! The band members were celebrities in my eyes. The drum beats thundered, the horns pierced the air, the energy was electric. I had never seen anything like this. I forgot to mention that I went to an all-girls Catholic high school in suburban Cleveland. So this was definitely a different experience for me. Honestly, I never knew a football game could be that much fun. I did not really watch any sports when I was 17, so that was another experience as well. One of my favorite traditions
was getting to the games and learning the song chants. Now, I know there's a lot of them, but there was one that stuck out to me, and it was called Humpty Dumpty. Do y'all remember it? It was way before Ball and Parlay, I'm sorry. I just remember learning the words, and as a freshman, it went, all the freshmen. All right, how's that? Yes. Then, of course, all the freshmen, all the sophomores, all the juniors, all the seniors, and then at the end, it was all pipers. And everyone excitedly waited for their group to be called. I learned the words, and I proudly sang along throughout my freshman year. By homecoming, you couldn't tell me nothing. I knew all the words, I was ready, I had mastered the entire song, but then something unexpected happened. The band threw in another verse that I wasn't ready for. All of a sudden they said, all the alumni got the hump, dum, dum. Okay, and suddenly, when they sang that verse, all the alumni got the hump, all these grown folks around me started singing louder than anyone else. Now, I have to tell you, I was 17, and I was just trying to figure out what was going on. To me, the alumni were just elders. You know, now my adult daughters call us the aunties and uncles. That's what they were to me. And I couldn't imagine them identifying with whatever cool, energetic, youthful message was in that song. But standing here today before you, 35 years after graduating from Mother Tuskegee, I can confidently tell you that I was wrong. Because now I understand, I truly understand, that all the alumni truly do have the hump. All right, thanks. Okay, so what I would like to do is define the word hump as an acronym, where H is hardworking, U is unbreakable, M is momentum mindset, P is powerful and prosperous. And I'd like to share with you how those letters, those words have meant, what they have meant to me on my journey as a Tuskegee alumna. You ready to go for a ride with me? Okay, let's start with the H, or hardworking. So one thing I have always admired about Tuskegee alumni is our willingness to work hard. Not just for ourselves, but for one another. I mean, look at this convention. Look at all the hard work that we can produce this. After graduating with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Tuskegee, my first job took me to Michigan, where I immediately joined the Detroit Tuskegee Alumni Club. Detroit, where are you? graduates helped me navigate adulthood. I know my daughters are always telling me, adulting is so hard. Well, for me, I had the Detroit Tuskegee Alumni Club to help me navigate, while the seasoned alumni mentored and embraced me. Together, we worked concession stands at the Detroit Lions games at the Silver Dome, long before Ford Field. We sold tickets at our signature fundraiser, the Harvest Ball. We recruited at local high schools for students to attend Tuskegee, and we represented Tuskegee everywhere we went. It was hard work, but it was work with purpose. That same work ethic followed me into my career at General Motors. I started off as a test and development engineer focused on vehicle safety and crashworthiness. That means, basically, I was responsible for ensuring that, remember those dummies, the anthropotic devices that have all the instrument panels or instrumentation on them? They had to hit the barrier, and I had to make sure that all the accelerometers had the right data that proved that we met all the regulatory compliance. We met all of our metrics. So I learned performance metrics, I met goals, and I built credibility. My family back at home in Cleveland was so proud of me. My high school celebrated me. I even went back to talk to the young ladies at my high school about my career. I was financially independent, and I wish one of my daughters was in the room right now to hear me say, I never called back home to ask for money. As we say today, I was grinding. And as Herman Bull said the other day, there's grinders, finders, and minders. I was definitely a grinder at that point in my career. Early mornings, late nights, and a lot of prayer in between. But despite my success, I wasn't fulfilled. There was just something missing. So I decided to apply for a fellowship through General Motors to get my master's degree. And that's where I decided to go to Georgia Tech. And I know there's a couple people in the room that had that same fellowship. We were all at Georgia Tech together too. My mechanical engineering master's degree had an emphasis on thermal sciences. And that opened the door for me to work on engine cooling and exhaust systems for vehicle platform launches. The opportunities grew, and so did the responsibilities. I specifically remember when our first daughter was born and she was under 1, flying to Arizona to do testing at the proving grounds out there and do Las Vegas traffic studies. But I had my mother-in-law, who lived in Los Angeles, meet me at the Phoenix airport so she could take Maya with her back to Los Angeles so I could get my work done while David was on a business trip. And we would get everything done and then fly back to Michigan. And we got it. We made it work. It was a lot. And that was just with the first daughter. But eventually I realized something important. In a company the size of General Motors, which at that time was one of the largest companies, if not the largest. Hello, am I here? Okay. My role kept feeling increasingly small. I wanted to make a bigger impact. I remember going to work one day over the Nickel Tech Center, my Detroit people will know, 12 Mile and Round, somewhere around there. Walking in, and the floor that I went to had 500 engineers, and all of us were working on engine systems. And I thought, wow, we're all doing this. Like, am I learning a transferable skill? Is there something more that I'm meant to do? I wanted to make a bigger impact. I wanted flexibility. I wanted purpose. And so, while I was pregnant with my third daughter, feeling a little overwhelmed and unsure about what came next, I found myself praying a simple prayer. Lord, show me what's next. That's simple. So, believe it or not, this led to my husband and I deciding to purchase ownership in a franchise opportunity in a smoothie shop. Who knows? option of buying the smoothie shop franchise as a kiosk to do at just different athletic events. But no, we decided we wanted a fixed location at a mall. So we had a smoothie shop at Fairlane Town Center in Dearborn, Michigan. We were responsible for the lease negotiation, the design of the space, the permitting, the licensing, hiring a general contractor to do the construction, hiring people to work in the smoothie shop, marketing for customers to come to the smoothie shop, and of course, managing the employee in an all-cash business. All of this while still working our full-time jobs as automotive engineers and raising 3 small children when neither of us had family in Michigan. It was an arduous effort with a modest amount of income. The business ultimately failed. And I thought about something that Herman Bull said, risk without preparation is treacherous. We had some preparation, but obviously not enough. I felt discouraged, tired, and disappointed. Again, I prayed the simple prayer, Lord, show me what is next. What I learned is that hard-working people don't stop when they're tired. They keep moving when they're called. I kept working diligently and waiting for an answer for my prayer, uncertain of what the future held. This is what takes me to the U. Unbreakable. Around that time, the economy began to shift. The recession was approaching. Markets were trembling, industries were changing. Tuskegee itself was navigating economic challenges, declining enrollment, changing philanthropic landscapes. Meanwhile, I was so busy balancing family and work that I barely noticed that the automotive industry was heading towards a historic disruption. You probably remember hearing news stories on that. Then came an unprecedented buyout opportunity. You see, normally, corporations like that only offered buyouts to employees who were approaching retirement. But this was an instance where General Motors offered buyout opportunities to not almost all the employees. After much prayer and faith, I applied and was made an offer and accepted it. My manager tried to convince me to stay, but before I left, she looked me in the eye and said something I'll never forget. She said, Tammy, you are talented. Don't ever give up on yourself. You're unbreakable. Those words stayed with me. Shortly after that, my husband and I made a bold decision to leave the automotive industry altogether and join my family's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing industrial construction business in Indiana. Talk about a leap of faith. This was a company of less than 100 employees. When our family of 5 moved to Indiana, we immediately engaged with the Indianapolis Tuskegee Alumni Club. Is it Indianapolis in the house? Okay. We volunteered to lead or support the club's activities, including All right, thank you. So we volunteered to lead or support the club's activities, including the annual student picnic, the prayer breakfast, and one of my favorites, the Christmas party auction. I earned a construction project management. Oh, here it is. Okay, we talk fast. Okay. Construction project management certification, and suddenly found myself wearing more hats than I could count. Because working in a small business, you wear a lot of hats. I was a project manager, I was an estimator, I was a business developer, human resource manager, a payroll administrator. I working for it. At one point, I was even setting up servers and managing company devices. It was a lot, but I was unbreakable. Working for a small business taught me that every contribution mattered. Every decision mattered. Every relationship mattered. I negotiated contracts, and at one point, I learned from my connections that I could develop relationships with the right people to give my family business even more money. So I negotiated a contract with the Indianapolis Department of Public Works. I was responsible for about $20 million worth of infrastructure work. Doing that, I learned how to do asphalt repaving, milling, paving, some minor bridge reconstruction work, ADA, ramp. This expanded my skill set and built an entirely new professional network. I didn't know everything, but I learned, I adapted, and I remained unbreakable, all 5 feet 2 inches of me. This takes me to the M. Anyway, okay. The M is for momentum mindset. By the late 2010s, Tuskegee had weathered the recession, but new challenges emerged. Leadership transitions, changing student engagement, and the rise of social media, increasing expectations from students and alumni alike. It became clear that success would require more than just resources. It would require the right mindset to reproduce momentum. Oh, thank you. Okay. We all know from physics that momentum is the quantity of motion an object has. It's that object's mass and velocity. Similarly, momentum in life is the psychological energy generated by taking small, consistent actions toward goals. This momentum is influenced by one's mindset, which allows us to move forward instead of remaining stuck when challenges bring us down. The same was true for my own life. I had grown professionally and personally. I knew I was ready for the next chapter. The question was, would my mindset allow me to step into it? I revisited one of my favorite books at that time, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Has anyone read that? Yes. By Stephen Covey. One principle in that book stood out to me. Begin with the end in mind. So I asked myself, where do I want to go? Who do I want to become? What impact do I want to make? The answer became simple. If it's got to be, it's up to me. And then I also thought about something athletic director Ruppin said, do what you love what you do. If you don't love it, don't do it. I said, okay. I stopped focusing salary and titles for my next career move. Instead, I started asking people where they felt valued, supported, recognized, balanced, fulfilled. Balanced and fulfilled. Because I believe that if I found the right culture, everything else would follow. One day, I called a sorority sister. Shout out to Delta Sigma Theta. She happened to work at Fifth Third Bank, and she told me how much she liked her job. So I decided to go on their website and look for any opportunity that matched my skill sets, where I found an executive construction project management posting. Look at how that works. She knew the hiring manager. She got me in the door for an interview. And this led me to the position that I have as a vice president and growth manager of the largest expansion in Fifth Third Bank's history. I am responsible for the strategy, governance, and leadership for a team of architects, engineers, and project managers. Together, I know when Gaynell introduced me, she said I was responsible for $200 million worth of work. But since then, it is now $350 million. And these construction projects are all across the Southeast and Southwest. So I will tell you, if you see a new Fifth Third Bank being built in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama now, which is Alabama, and soon Dallas and Austin, just know that me and my team played a role in that. Just think, years ago, I had no idea anyone in the banking industry even hired someone with a mechanical engineering degree. Who knew? This job moved me to Cincinnati, Ohio, where I immediately connected with the amazing Cincinnati Tuskegee alumni. I'm proud to serve on the executive. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm back. I'm proud to serve on the executive committee and support our signature scholarship golf outing, our CTAC family reunion, our spring mix and mingles, where I have been known to do a little bit of line dancing, as our signature to represent Tuskegee at many of the high schools, amongst other activities. The power of mindset and momentum is strong. When you're focused on growth, opportunities begin to reveal themselves. This leads small actions that propel you forward. So this brings us to the P, which is powerful and prosperous. Okay, you'll come back. Eventually, I realized something that Dorothy learned in The Wizard of Oz. Wait a minute. Not in this audience. This is the Wiz. The power was with her all along. And the same was true for me. I had the power to overcome obstacles. I had the power to reinvent myself. The power to transfer skills across industries. The power to seek mentors and ask for help. The power to build networks. The power to lead. The power to serve. And most importantly, I had the power of faith. Because prosperity is not simply about money. Prosperity is progress. Prosperity is purpose. Prosperity is peace of mind. Prosperity is having the ability to help someone else climb higher. Prosperity is honoring your legacy while building your future. Prosperity is watching rise and knowing that you played a role in her success. So no, I may not be kicking my heels 3 times like Dorothy, but I am proudly singing, all the alumni got the hump, dee-dum, dum, dum. All the alumni got the hump, dee-dum, dum, dum. Because I believe we do. So my fellow alumni, we have faced challenges. We have navigated uncertainty. We have adapted through change. And we will continue to thrive because we are hardworking. We are unbreakable. We possess the right mindset for momentum. We are powerful and prosperous. And yes, all the alumni got the hump. And now I leave you with one question. What is one thing that you can do today to make an impact on Mother Tuskegee? Maybe it's making a donation if you haven't. Maybe it's establishing a recurring gift. Maybe it's asking your employer to match your gift. Maybe Maybe it's encouraging a high school student to apply to Tuskegee. Maybe it's just telling your Tuskegee story to someone you have lunch with. Maybe it's inviting your employer crew. Maybe it's paying your local alumni dues and then calling another alum and challenge them to do the same. Whatever it is, just do one thing. Because every gift matters. Every alum matters. And together, we can ensure that the best chapters of Tuskegee University's story are still ahead of us. The yard is calling. Come back, come home, and lift as you climb. Thank you.
Tammy, thank you so much for those inspiring words, the reminiscing, the encouragement, education as far as some of the terms you use when you describe instrumentation and so forth. We learned some things, again, we reminisce. We just thank you so much for your energy and your enthusiasm. And what the executive committee would like to present you with a token of our appreciation. Tammy 2026 James Woodson Alumni Lunch Speaker, presented by TNAA 42nd Biennial National Commission, Reverend Dr. James Quincy III. And continuing with our program, we want to
Jerry's going to come and join us. It is customary for us to give the spouse of the speaker a nice bouquet of roses. Tammy, could you pass me that middle centerpiece right there? Yes, please pass it. No, I'm just joking. For you, my brother, we have an embossed Tuskegee University bookmark for you to be able to share as you read your books on your Kindle.
Yes, we have societal norms and things. Typically, you're used to a man speaking and a woman as the spouse, and she gets flowers. So we did something a little different this time. Ladies, be encouraged. We want your stories. We really, really do. What we're going to do right now is recognize our Inman Associates. I want to have Mrs. Stringer say a couple of words for that. Feel free to do it right here.
who is the chair of the Tuskegee University's Eminent Associates. I also want Ms. Cooper to stand. She is the secretary of the Eminent Associates, and she has all forms that are necessary, and I will, Cassandra, you may have a seat. Thank you. Necessary. I will let her know when we are going to pass them 2 years. Also unable to join us today is Dr. John Hutt, and I'm looking right there at the profound eminent associate past, immediate past. You know what I'm talking about. I saw one day, he's just staring at me, thinking I can't see. But you know how we ran up and down the road to Columbus, Georgia, here and here and here. Now, I know you want to wave your hand. You want to do that, Solomon? You want to do that? Okay. We know what success is. And we've been taught, to pat our own back and not to be ashamed of that. Not for our good, but for his good and for all of those people who are around us that we help. Okay? With that being in mind, I'd like to have every eminent associate to stand. Every eminent associate to stand. Okay? She said stand up, you can. I heard her. I got used to it. Okay, that is wonderful. Wonderful. That's over 7/8 of you. I won't say 2/3, over 7/8. Okay? You may have a seat. Thank you. Thank you. Now, for those people who believe strongly that you have been left off of the eminent associates role, okay? I will say to you how unfortunate that is, okay? I want you to raise your hands because I know that there are some of you, eminent associates, and our beautiful diocese members, okay? I know one of you has already given almost $100 to Tuskegee University. Unfortunately, you have not received an invitation to join this august. We extend that invitation to you today. When you raise your hand, Ms. Cooper will know you and she will give you an application because you're already an eminent associate. He is beyond the founder's circle. And thank you for reminding me, Solomon. I want to say, and then, you ain't told me so many times, and now he's telling me that's my time. It's because I love you. And I want to say before I get down, because I was asked as I was going out, Ms. Stringer, has anybody said to you today how much we love you and how we thank you? And what did I say? I said thank you.
Yep, you did.
Because all of you helped me. And I always say, I am because you are. And I send all of my graduates, all of you, love, okay? We are Tuskegee University. I'll say this. Many of you tease me because on my car tag, it says I own to you. And I do. You just don't. You don't blame. But you do. And I'm telling you, you can say I own to TU 2, 3, 4, and we can go around the room, all out into the country. But before Dr. Posey sits me down, I want to tell you all how well we did. In the book of reports is the report of Ms. Merrill. In 2024, we gave over $1 million. That's the criminal associate. In 2025, we gave to Tuskegee University a little bit less. I don't know why. Maybe somebody died and didn't have us in the will. Hint. association has grown tremendously. You will see in the book, on page 83, I think it is, that we had, according to the development / advancement office, about 758 associates. I know that there are more than that. Again, you will tell us who you are, because to our knowledge, and I think some of you can verify, that if there are two people in a household, Mr. and Mrs. Bergrove, that your name may be on the top, and my classmate, even though you claim to be mine, but you go 70, 71 and all that, but it's necessary, then you follow back and say, Sarah, you're my classmate. But anyway, my real classmate right here may not get credit for it, because your name is first on the chain. We have called attention to that, to the development staff, and if any of you are in here, thank you for the work that you do, for letting us correct when necessary, and you correct us when necessary.
Thank you, Mr. Ringer. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Ringer. I love you.
And when he says that, then I'm going to do what he wants me to do. But I want to say again,
Lord have mercy. Y'all, let's give Miss Sarah Stringer a round of applause, please. Amen. Now you all know that we are at least 30 minutes over for this program. Amen. And I really appreciate all your patience. I really appreciate your endurance. I really appreciate the love that we share for one another. Miss Stringer, know I love her to death. Amen, amen. But love sometimes hurts. Amen, amen, amen. Amen. The next piece of the program calls for remarks. I don't have any remarks. Everything that needs to be said has been said. We did want to acknowledge some other people. We will do that this evening. We are done for this hour. We have workshops that were scheduled to begin, and they're going to have to begin. Yes, we have scheduled. We have workshops.
All right, come with me, man. Come here.
2:15 to 2:30.
Oh, excuse me. Stand in front of the separate peak. Thank you for watching.
This was, well, first of all, I want to thank y'all for watching. This was the official luncheon that we just had where Tammy Brooks was the guest speaker and did a phenomenal job telling her story in regards to Tuskegee, the impact all the way through her career, which was super excited for her.
Excellent.
This was an amazing luncheon.
Stay tuned for
More. Stay tuned for more. Y'all know what's coming up next, right? So get ready, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen tonight, right? We are going to be fly, right, in our gear.
That's
And
right.
guess what? We're going to have some sneakers on the bottom. Nike Airs. All right.